First of all, I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all of my many friends and to my many enemies. Once again, this is another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off, and I would like to thank everybody for rating, commenting, and subscribing. You are helping to make it happen, and much thanks from my heart to yours. And now you all see the title. Oh yes, you all, we have made it to the end of another year and another season here on Roosevelt Sounds Off of 2018. But before I get into anything, first of all, I would like to thank God, His Son Jesus, and also to the precious Holy Ghost for allowing me to be on YouTube here another year. And to thank all of you, all of the faithful watchers and all of the subscribers, everybody who has commented, whether you agreed with me or whether you have not, and even those who might not be subscribers, but yet every now and then some people who might just stop by every now and then. I thank you so much. And the reason I'm thanking you, because Roosevelt Sounds Off wouldn't be whatever it is if it wasn't for you, the subscribers and also the viewers of the channel. Thank you so much. And I believe in this year that we have gained some great ground within this year. First of all, I think I put out more videos this year than I have in any other year of me being on YouTube, because as many of you all know, that I have been on YouTube this year for 5 years, because this is something that I started as a venture and a personal project of mine back in 2013. And basically how it got started is, at the time, I guess I was talking about a bad experience that I had with the Chicago Police Department, because I am a past victim of the Chicago Police Department. And I was telling my experience as to what happened as a way for me to protest what happened to me, because I feel in my case I never received any justice. But after that, I feel it just took off, because I dealt with many other subjects, whether it was subjects on church-related things or even biblical subjects, or even, talking about and dealing with relationships in between men and women. But on this year, I think that I have done more videos. I have gone live at different places. And I believe it's, pretty much is good, because this year a whole lot of us content creators on YouTube received YouTube Live, so that enabled me to be able to go to different places, in different protests live, and you all saw things as I saw it. So it was able to enable me to do that, which I'm very, very happy about, to do. And I have even had special guests on, this year. People like Valerie Rivera, whose son was murdered by, Los Angeles Police Department. And I've even had on another famous YouTuber in the black sector of YouTube, Brian Solange. And I even had a public relations piece that I did of a young lady in Detroit, Michigan named Jatan, who was searching for a place for her and her grandchildren to live. And this year I have accomplished the feat of having, several viral videos that went or obtained thousands of views. The video that I did on Audrey Stevenson, of course, if you remember that, she was the young lady who was beat up at the Potter's House Church in Fort Worth, Texas. And also the video that, of Lalade Serambole, if I'm saying that name correctly, who was discriminated against and had the police called on her by a white student, and she had the police called on her just for taking a nap in a student common area. And I deal with these particular topics because these are the particular things that are going wrong, that we are still dealing with in the year 2018. a whole lot of people would say or think that, we should have, gone better by now, and or done better by now, should I say. And a whole lot of times, you hear the words of the song, we shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We keep on singing this song because, it says shall, meaning that, it's probably going to happen one day, but now into 2018, going into 2019, it has not happened yet. We have not overcome yet, because we still have even cases of police brutality and unequal justice within law enforcement that we're still dealing with. And I've covered a couple of topics, concerning that. Matter of fact, I'm going to play you a couple of brief clips. And the first thing I'm going to play you is a cartoon that, I pulled off of Facebook, and it's dealing with officers executing, young black boy. And it's just like a cartoon that's meant to be funny. But we know in reality, these kind of things actually happen. And I'm going to play you a second clip behind that one. So stay tuned for these two clips, and I'm going to come back with everything else that I want to say.
Hey! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Jaywalking! Stop right there!
What?
Stop right there! Stop! What? No! Stop! No! Get down! Get down right now! Get down on the ground! You are such an arrest! No, cooperate! Cooperate!
I can't breathe.
You know jaywalking is against the law! It's a federal offense! What are you doing? Don't you move! Don't you touch me! Don't you touch me! Okay, back up! This is Officer Shooter responding to a request for backup. What seems to be the problem here? This man was jaywalking. All right, stand back and let me handle this. Son, put your hands up right now. Son, I'm asking you to put your hands up. Son, if you do not put your hands up, I'll be forced to use this firearm to dispose of your threat. Son, are you listening to me? Don't you play dumb, son. He's reaching for... All right, you asked for it, motherfucker.
The criminal justice system has a set of rights created to protect you. But do you think it's really protecting us? You had a right to remain silent, but that really means you had a right to be silenced, doubted, interrogated, suspected. The color of your skin can and will be used against you in the court of law. You had a right to be innocent until proven guilty. But somehow, about 47% of the wrongly convicted are black. And if you don't remain perfect, with the smallest slip-up, smallest infraction, the most honest mistake, you're going to join us, the 80% who come back to prison within 5 years, as I did. That's when you realize they didn't bring us here to thrive. They brought us here to build this. The plantation and the prison are actually no different. The past is the present. It ain't no coincidence.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed those clips, and that falls under the category of fair use. So that's still some of the things that we are dealing with in 2018, as well as, trickery and being unequal in the criminal justice system. But I believe that, one of the biggest things that I want to deal with that went on this year, and I think that, because normally whenever I do these year-end programs, normally I have what is called a story of the year. But it has been a bunch of stories this year that took place in 2018. And what is it? White people who call the police on black people for doing extraordinary things in life. Whether it was two brothers who were in Starbucks, or whether it was, a lady and her son who got the police called on them at a neighborhood pool. These kind of things in 2018 still continue on to happen. And some of these people who got the police called on them, these were actually, good people. In other words, these were not, thugs. These were not gang members. Some of these people actually had jobs and an education. Look at the two guys who had the police called on them in Starbucks. I mean, they were going to Starbucks because they were going there to make a real estate deal. And what happens? a barista or a manager who works there, Miss Hilton, Holly Hilton, calls the police on them, and they ended up getting taken out of there and, having to spend 8 hours in jail all for nothing. I mean, but I'm glad that, later on that Starbucks around May, decided to shut down all of the Starbucks coffees and decided to have some sensitivity training about race or about ethnicity and other things, so we can get to a, reasonable expectation, to try to solve these kind of problems, come up with a good solution. And then, of course, you had the guy, who was in his apartment. I got a chance to speak to him one time, named Mr. Tolles, who had the police called on him just because a white woman, Hillary Brock Thornton, didn't believe that he lived there, or didn't believe that, he, even belonged there. But yet, if you look at his Facebook page like I did, you'll find that he is the CEO of a company and that he works and actually has a good job, but yet still treated in the same kind of a way that a thug or, anybody would. So sometimes when I look at all of this kind of stuff happening, I mean, plus, before I get into what I was going to say, you got one more case of, someone named Pool Patrol Paul, this is what they dubbed him, who called the police on Jasmine Edwards and her son, who were black, for trying to use a neighborhood pool in July, back in, in North Carolina. She videotaped the whole thing. Of course, when she videotaped the whole thing, this video ended up going viral, and he, of course, ended up losing his job. And, these kind of things continue on to happen. So in this next clip I'm going to play you, it automatically shows, no matter how high you go in this society, how in American society, how white America, no matter what you do, you could be the thug on the corner, but yet you could also be the president of the United States, doing good or whatever. How this country will still continue on to treat you. So sometimes I wonder, they always try to tell us all the time, to, stay in school and keep your nose clean and to stay out of trouble. Don't get in trouble with the police. Don't do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Go to church, work, and school, and that's it. And, and stay out of trouble. Go to college, get a degree and all of that, and get a good job. And this way, and this is what Larry Elder always says, who's a black conservative, in case y'all didn't know, that if you do all of these kind of things, you'll never be in trouble, you'll never have any problems with the law, and you'll never be poor. Which we know that is not true. So I don't understand how come Larry Elder and other black conservatives or conservatives in general are trying to sell us this narrative in 2018 that, we know is not completely true. And we know it's not true. So this next clip I'm going to play you, looks like this is from an old TV show, don't know where this is from. But these young men are in jail or in a lockup, and it's a white guy, challenging a black guy on why black people can't get it together, and how come you people, this is the word that he used, you'll see it in the clip, you people can't do better than what you're doing. Stay tuned for the clip, because trust me, this is going to speak for itself.
Hey, my grandfather came to this country with nothing. He couldn't even speak the language, but he worked hard and he made a place for himself and his family. Now, why can't you people do the same? Hey, my grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that clip. And all of these clips, by the way, fall under the category of fair use. Okay? I need to say that. So you saw how he spoke to him, saying how, you know, you people need to get it together, you people this or you people that or something. You know, when black people have built this country, but look at how we have suffered. I mean, I was just telling a friend of mine tonight that I feel that whenever you grow up a certain way or you grow up in poverty, and sometimes growing up in poverty is no choice, it's, not something that you came in the earth, looking to do or to grow up in. It's kind of like a circumstance that was cast upon you that you cannot help. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like something that was done to you that's beyond your own making. Because if it was up to you, you would probably never agree to grow up in poverty. But, in some areas or something, even if you have to take areas like Chicago, which are poor areas like Austin area, or Lawndale area, or the Inglewood area, which is here on the southwest side of Chicago. These areas, people are living in poverty, but usually what follows poverty? Crime would also follow poverty, okay? And, and sometimes whenever you, have that, then if you grow up seeing that and everything, that becomes completely like normal to you. I mean, so even though I know I grew up a little bit differently because I come from a two-family home and, we were considered to be like middle class or whatever, I still try to understand where, other people are coming from and all of that. And no matter what, still always willing to give, people the benefit of the doubt. So this is what is still going on in this country. White people calling the police on black people. And recently, we've had a woman who got the police called on her for simply taking a seat and sitting down on the floor in a crowded public aid office. I did a story on that a couple of weeks ago. This doesn't make any kind of sense that white people is racist as this, white society is. That, they want to use police as their personal goon squad. And I think, police agencies are stupid to still keep on falling for this stuff. And I feel that there needs to be a law that's put into place that if you or anyone calls the police on anyone else for a non-emergency reason, you are the one who needs to be locked up. So in this next clip I'm going to show you what should happen to white people, or anyone for that matter, who calls the police for a non-emergency situation. This is a white woman kind of like doing things to and saying rude things to, a bunch of black people, and in the end, it's the white woman who gets thrown in the cuffs and goes to jail. This is what should happen every single rip and every single time that happens, because that's the only way that you're going to stop this trend from keep on happening in this country. Y'all stay tuned for the clip.
Move. Okay.
I think they're pushing this bitch off.
No,
the
for real,
curb.
stop.
Yeah,
Back the fuck up. Move.
Get out of Berkeley.
Move.
Move.
Move. Move. No, we will start. No, you go. Move. Back up.
Don't
Move.
touch me.
Move.
Don't touch
Move.
Go back.
Move.
Don't touch me.
Hey, please. You gotta keep going. Karina.
Move.
Karina, I need you to go.
Stop.
Please.
You're pregnant.
I
You need to stop. No, you don't have to. Move.
Go. You.
That's where we went to get these drinks.
Move.
It's aggressive for what?
Move. You need to back up. Back up. Move.
So I need
Hey, look.
Okay, do you need me to call the police on you?
Please,
Stop.
Witness, please.
Move.
I'm really trying to walk. I don't know her. And
Stop.
like, no, literally, please, just be a
You
witness.
don't tell us how she have the right
Move.
to
Please, go.
Okay, so this mob of people just came at me from out of nowhere and tried to assault me.
Stop.
Stop. Why? Fuck you. I cannot believe that. Why?
Stop resisting. Stop. Okay? Sit up. Sit up.
Okay, I just showed you that clip, and that also falls under the category of fair use. And I guess I deal with this kind of stuff because I believe that, by us being one America or even one world, that, we are all flesh and blood, created by God Himself. And I believe that we all should have the same things in life. In other words, it should be no way that if you look at the city of Chicago, that the Gold Coast, which is a richer area of Chicago, looks very nice, but places like Lawndale or Inglewood are run down. To me, we are nothing as a people until poor areas look just as good, if not better, than white areas. We are nothing as a people until the criminal justice system treats all of us the same. Because we're still not treated the same in the criminal justice system. Because a white man and a black man could commit the exact same crime, but yet the judge would want to throw the book at the black man, but would want to give the white man who committed the same crime possibly, probation or whatever. So we are still not the same. So I believe everybody in being the same, that our houses and our neighborhoods should all look the same, and we should all have the same amount of money and all the same amount of opportunities. It shouldn't be one above the other. It should be no rich or no poor. It should be no black or no white. We all need to just be one human family, all doing the same things, all accomplishing the same things. I believe in the old mantra that was chanted years ago by the Black Panther Party, where they said, all power to the people, black power to black people, white power to white people, brown power to brown people, red power to red people, yellow power to yellow people, all power to the people, because indeed it is the people who run this country. And moving on from that, this year I also made a video called It's a Choice, where I was very transparent about my life and certain things that I have been through. It was kind of like, should I say, my testimony, if you will, about, how I endured sexual molestation when I was younger, and how to this very day, being 44 years old, how I still struggle sometimes with thoughts and feelings of homosexuality. I just don't want to go there because I know biblically that is wrong to do. And I talked about it in this video, that saying that, that's a choice. And I know that I went against the mantra of the LGBT community, because the LGBT community, believes that if you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, or whatever, that it's not a choice, that you're actually born this way. But I don't really believe that you're born that way, and I really don't believe even biblically you're born that way, because even the Bible says, the Holy Ghost says, that you made that choice and you did it out of your own lust. So I know I went against the mantra of the LGBT when I said that it's a choice. And I didn't only just stay there. I dealt with other things and other sins and stuff of wrongdoing that's considered to be a choice. Whether you're alcoholic or whether you're on drugs, whether you're involved in other kinds of sexual immorality, in the end, it's all a choice. Because God, He even said in the scriptures that He put before you today the choices of life and death. But He encouraged us to choose life. And most of all, I think life everlasting in Him in heaven. Because He doesn't just, keep us and preserve us and save us just for life down here and doing good things and everything down here. He also, preserves us in order to make heaven. So in the end, it's all a choice. And, you know, I even dealt with, and it was the second time I talked about it in that particular video. And because it was, this is an accomplishment also this year, because I'm going to talk about all my accomplishments this year, whether they be good or bad. The first time that I did a video where I was ever threatened, I was threatened for doing a certain video. The reason why I say I was threatened is because, you know, I had made a video back in February. Matter of fact, it was my Valentine's Day special called What Does a Woman Want? You know, many of y'all can go back and take a look at that if you want to. And I had talked about why you're looking for someone, like if you're looking to start a relationship with someone, you know, what to look for and how you should not have to deal with or put up with certain things from people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can understand that there's no perfect people, and all of us are trying to be good, and all of us, you know, struggle in certain areas. But when certain areas are just blatantly just out there, it's just there and everything, and especially the person is not trying to help themselves, and the person is not trying to do anything about it. I think, and I can't tell anybody who to go with or anything like that. You know, but certain things are just, you know, blatant. And I had dealt with a friend of mine's then fiance, and I had talked about, because, you know, the guy's he's an alcoholic, and, you know, just drinks every day, drinks every single weekend. And I, like I said in the first video, I think the worst thing he's ever done, and this is something I don't recommend anyone do, and you shouldn't do it, is the main thing he has done is go to church drunk. And to me, you should never go into your place of business or into God's house inebriated. And you know, I had heard about it and everything before, but I personally never saw it myself except at one time. And with me, if you do something or you just go too far and you just go and pull the rag right on off the bush, with me, I make a certain impression about you, no matter what it is that you do. That impression, trust me, it sticks. And I saw how he acted, how they had to keep on taking him back to his seat, and you know, how the pastor was trying to be patient and everything. But it didn't. After, because he had saw what happened was, you know, like I said, I saw him drunk and everything that day. And after church, he had saw the video, I guess, where I talked about that. You know, and he came up to me and he said something to me first, where he said that, man, you got something to say to me. And I asked him, what did you say? Man, I asked you, did you have something to say to me? I said, no. I don't have anything to say to you. He's like, well, good. I'm about to stomp the shit out your ass. And then he decides to just like took his shoulder and bumped it into mine while he was walking past me. And I already promised myself, since I was tired of all of his crap, that the next time he said something smart or slick to me, I was going to try my best to knock his behind out. Because he had already said something slick to me during a party that they held on Christmas Eve. I was talking to somebody else. I wasn't even speaking to him. And the main thing, he walked up to me and he said, I don't know if he was drunk or what. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You know, he's always, you know, saying all this kind of stuff and, you know, acting all smart and everything. And I think one of the worst things he's done to me is to make fun of my disability. Many of y'all who know or who know me personally know that I'm visually impaired and even have a slight problem even with my hearing. And every single time this guy would see me, he would wave his hand right in front of my eyes and be like, oh man, Roosevelt, can you see me? That's some kiddie stuff. This is stuff that happened, and I hated it because it kind of made me relive certain things and certain bullying and teasing I had to go through back when I was in elementary and high school. You know, you would think that at my age, at 44 years old, that, you know, I wouldn't have to keep on going through this kind of stuff and experiencing this kind of stuff, because this stuff should be over with. And he's older than I am. He's 47, 48 years old. And still participating in kiddie type stuff. That's what I don't get. And the worst thing is, you know you're doing something that's rude, or you know you're doing something that is bothering somebody, but yet you still keep on doing it anyway. That's what, and you know that is wrong. That's what I can't get. That's what I don't understand. But, you know, moving on and everything, you know, it escalated somewhat, you know, to where we was outside. And when we was outside, he kept on telling me something, but I'm going to fire your ass up. I'm going to fire your ass up. I'm going to light your ass up. And then, you know, he walked up on me or something. Then I raise up my fist or something. I swing again. And one of the ministers comes out and steps in between us. And the main thing he's saying, oh, no, I know he just didn't try to swing. I know he just didn't try to swing. I was like, oh, yeah, I did try to swing. Because I guess he was shocked, I guess, that I stood up to him. But it's, you know, after so long, you know, you just get tired of that stuff. But then after this whole thing is, what? Oh, I forgot. I need to go back. Rewind. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. It's a little bit more to that story. And I walked up on him again and stuff because I was tired. So I kept on trying to walk around the minister to get to him. And then one of the girls in the church, now I don't think that this girl, you know, she knows me from visiting there or something sometime. And, you know, she also knows their family. But I don't think that this particular girl has any reason to lie. And I don't know what she saw that I did not see. But she told me, be careful because he has a gun. So I'm thinking that maybe he's trying to goat me, you know, looking at it now, trying to antagonize me and goat me into a fight so he would have a reason to shoot me or do some kind of bodily harm to me. So after that, I didn't want to have anything to do with him. I didn't want to see him. I didn't even want to hear his name. And even to this very day, I still feel the same way. And now, and I do have to give it to you. About a couple of weeks later, he tried to apologize and everything, and I just walked away from him. Yeah, but, I mean, ooh, it's just for me. Even I know he tried to apologize, and they said now he feels really bad about the whole thing. And a few weeks ago, he lost his grandmother. And I don't know what losing someone close to you does to some people. Maybe it gets you to actually thinking about life and how things are supposed to go and makes you relive certain things. I don't know. I've never been there because I never had to have really like any regrets like that because somebody has passed away in my life. So I can't speak for everybody. But, you know, he says that he wants to talk to me and, you know, wants to reach out and everything to me, feels bad about everything. And of course, or whatever, you know, and I cannot believe I'm actually having thoughts on speaking with him and putting every single thing out there. Just lay it all on the line of every single thing that he's done. So maybe even we could come to a peaceful solution. And his sister-in-law, who I'm good friends with, tells me that I feel a certain way towards him because even though I think that I forgave or something but just don't want to have anything to do with him, she tells me that she doesn't feel like I have forgiven. But, you know, she tried to make me see, and a whole lot of people say that forgiveness is not for the person who has committed the offense. Forgiveness is for you, so you could feel better and get that pressure and stress off of you. But at the same time, I can understand what she said. But at the same time, I think that forgiveness is also a two-way street. That, yeah, it might be up to me to forgive. But I also want to see evidence of some change in a person. You know, with him, and some good things I could say about him, that if you come into his home and everything, like if he's cooking, yeah, he will feed you. And ever since he has been with, you know, my friend, who of course is my godson's mother, you know, they've been together 5 or 6 years. They just got married this summer. But one thing about him I can say that's good, that he's always kept a job. And always, you know, pays the bills and helps out around the house and all of that. So I'm not trying to say that this guy is completely bad. No, definitely wouldn't say that. And I do know that he has had some extenuating circumstances, should I say, as to why he drinks. But at the same time, I will, my hope and my prayer for him is that he goes and gets help and figures out what is going on and what is causing this. Because quite frankly, I really don't believe that anyone does anything in this whole world without some kind of a cause or reason as to why that they do it. And of course, I was upset with how he has acted towards me, and I think that his behavior has been completely abominable. It's been almost an abomination, the way that he's not only treated me, but I've seen him do others. But if he is willing to make a change, I mean, at first I wasn't, but I don't know why I'm feeling this way in my heart, that I'd be open to possibly having a conversation, because I don't want to be upset all my life, because sometimes life is too short for everyone to be upset and all pissed off with each other. And I don't know, sometimes whenever I look at the world and even look at what I've been through and even this whole situation, sometimes I feel so tired of being pissed off. Okay? And that's just how, I guess, all of that goes. Okay? So I want to end this video with talking briefly about what I want to do in 2019. 2019, of course, I want to gain more ground. I want to gain more followers. And want to do more videos. And want to do videos on more topics. Even want to do more dialogues with some of you. So if I say something out there and I say something that you agree with or don't agree with or whatever, feel free to email me or look me up or something on YouTube in the comment section. And we'll see about bringing you on as a possible guest. So that's some of the things and accomplishments and some of the things I've done with the channel over this last year. And before I get off of here, I'd still like to personally thank all of you, all of my subscribers for supporting me these last 5 years, as well as this year. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And to also take this time to wish everyone a very happy holiday, whether you're celebrating something or whether you are not. That I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy belated Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and most of all, a Happy New Year. And a happy birthday to me. I will be 45 on December 22nd when a whole lot of you all will be seeing this video. And I think that one lesson I've learned at almost 45 years old is, like I said, that anytime you see a problem or whatever it is, I mean, you might be upset with something for a little while, but in the end, if you can, as much as you can, try your best to fix it. So with that, that is what I'm going to leave with you all for this holiday season. If anybody liked this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And hopefully this is my last video for 2018, and I will see everybody in the next video next year in 2019. Happy New Year, happy holidays to everyone. Peace and blessings to all.